So I've been a remote online notary for like 2 years now. And one of the things that I realized early on is how important it is to have a community to go to. And I mean specifically like a notary community to be a part of, to make sure any questions, comments, concerns you have can be answered, to have a safe space for you to ask questions and, kind of get your feet under you when you're first beginning. And I think a community is important no matter where you are in your stage of your, RON notary journey, but especially in the beginning, because the beginning, when you first become a notary, it's like you're like peak imposter syndrome, right? It's like the peak time of self-doubt where you're like, wait, what is this document asking me for again? Am I reading this right? Am I doing this right? And I feel like it would have been hard for me to get through that time without having community that I can go to and ask questions and not feel like I'm asking any dumb questions. But I feel like sometimes it can be hard to find a community, right? One that's relevant to you, one that, maybe has notaries in your state, or maybe one that has people doing what you're trying to do, like being a RON. But recently, there's a community that dropped that is actually specific to RON. It's called Notary Ninja, and I want to say it launched like earlier this week, actually. And I feel like it actually has the potential to be big for the RON community. And this is not like a paid post or anything like that, but I've had the chance to check it out, and I think the site is very well done. And I like the way that they break everything down within it to make it super relevant to whatever platform you're using or state that you're in. And so I actually wanted to show you what the site looks like and what the community looks like. So that way, if you are also looking for a community as a RON, you have a place to potentially go, because like I said, I think this is going to be kind of big. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you first get onto the site. You can see it's Notary Ninja. It's a free notary community for notaries, by notaries, which I love. Who more to know about notaries than a notary themselves? I feel like that makes sense. And you can kind of scroll down and see what else that it has to offer. But when you want to join it, you simply just go to join our community. And I think I had to answer like 4 questions when I joined. It was like, what's your commission? What states are you in? Like something like that, some basic, my name, email type of thing. And then you get led into the community once whoever's hosting the community kind of vets you and lets you in. Now, I want to show you what it actually looks like once you're in, because it has some pretty cool features that I think you'll want to see. Okay, so this is the kind of based homepage of the community itself. And you can kind of click here to meet, share, grow, and it'll go through just the basics of what the community is, how it works, what it looks like. So you can see like the community guidelines right here, the rules, kind of scroll through and introduce yourself to the community. You can see featured post by the host, and then you can search by hashtag topics. Now I like this because if you've ever been in like a Facebook group and you're trying to search through like things that are relevant to you, sometimes it can be a little difficult. So at least this way, what it can be is like, let's say somebody posts something and they put hashtag, I don't know, loan signings, whatever it is. You can click on that and it'll only show you the posts that have that hashtag. So at least you're only getting the relevant information to you. So here's just some of the hashtags that are already available. So if I were to click on one of these, it would only show me posts that have been posted that also have this hashtag. So that way you're only kind of looking at the relevant information to yourself. And then you can go to the questions and suggestions and give any questions or suggestions to the community as a whole, or really to the kind of like platform, if you will, as a whole. Now there's another tab right here. That's the Learn tab. So the Learn tab actually has some different ways for you as a RON to grow and develop. So they have kind of 2 things. So they have the RON Masterclass and they have the Coca Theater. So I'm going to bounce around a little bit. So the Coca Theater is actually a place where they're going to host like guest speakers, and they're going to host different trainings and things like that that you can join, jump on and join, right? And so it's kind of nice because it's kind of a 2-for-1. You get a community, but then you also get these spaces to have different trainings, which can be a little bit hard if you're in like a Facebook group. So it's kind of nice that this is its own dedicated website, because you're able to do a lot more of these robust things. But then you also have this RON Masterclass. So if you are a RON and you are looking for training and you happen to be in this community, then you can go and you can join this masterclass. And it does cost money, and I want to say it's pretty relatively affordable. I know that the prices will be up there soon, so you'll be able to see that, but it should be relatively affordable. And then this will kind of break through everything that the class will go over. So it'll talk about, the history of notary publics, laws and regulations, kind of the state of RON, how to become a RON, but then also how to create a successful business. So this has its own little roadmap about how the class works. and then also kind of breaks down exactly how you will learn. So you'll go from like, yellow belt all the way to black belt, Ron Ninja, karate themed, you get it. But once you actually get out of this space, this right here is, I think, my favorite part, if not one of my favorite parts. So it's the Ron Software Providers tab. So when you click on that, what you're going to see is you're going to see pretty much every provider you can think of. It has the majority of providers, if not all of them. There's a lot of Ron platforms out there. Now, what it is these are kind of sub-communities within the greater community that are specific to the platform that you use. So let's say that you use, Notarize or Cyberize it or whatever the case may be, and you only want to be a part of conversations from notaries or from remote online notaries who are also using those softwares. You can join these specific communities and be able to see those posts. And I like that, right? Because not everything is going to be relevant for you, and what you don't want is to be scrolling through a bunch of posts that have nothing to do with what you're looking for. So there's these little subsets that I think are really freaking cool. And so I joined the Cyberize It one. So when you get on it, there's a couple things you can see. So you can, of course, go just to Cyberize It. You can go to the community, which is going to have posts from people that also do Cyberize It. And you're going to see the Resource Center. Now, the Resource Center, I think, is dope. So the Resource Center actually breaks down everything about a platform. Like, it breaks down the states it's available in, the use cases, device capabilities, special features, demos, training videos, pricing plans. So if you're like, oh, I want to do this platform, I'm thinking about this platform, but I don't know anything about it. How much does it cost? Can I bring my own clients or not? What does it look like? You can literally just go into one of these communities, even if you're not already using that platform, and you can find all the information you need without even having to go to the platform itself, which is really cool. But you can get all of that information for pretty much every platform. So if you're looking for information, you can go through, select it, join these groups, and then find out the information that you need. And you can join as many communities as you want. So then that way you can always kind of be a part of the conversation. And then if you go to the state groups make it even more specific, right? And I think, again, that's what I like about the community. It's like trying to get as specific as possible to what's relevant to you. So as a state group, I'm commissioned in Colorado and Washington, and both of them have their own state laws, and they're both different. And so I may want to be in a community of Washington notaries, so then that way I can actually figure out what's going on in Washington, and then one for Colorado notaries to figure out what's going on in Colorado, since I bounce between the two. Now, this communities, they do actually cost. It's actually really cheap to join these ones. It's a monthly cost, but you can go through and select your state. So let's say I wanted to go into Colorado. I can go into Colorado, I can pay the monthly cost, and then now I'm a part of that specific Colorado Ron community. Now, even though there are some things in this site that do cost money, like the Ron Masterclass, and if you want to join a state group, everything else is free. So if you just want to be a part of the overall community, that's free. If you want to be a part of these Ron specific software communities, that's free. If you want to go through and navigate the site, that's completely free. But if you want to get really specific, if you want to go to a state group and be a part of that, that does cost. And then, of course, the Ron Masterclass. But otherwise, you have your options. If you want to engage more, feel free to add those things on as well. If you don't, and you just want to stick with the free options, you have that as well. And that's not limiting in any way, because you still get to be a part of an amazing community. One of the things that I really like about this is they actually have an app. So there's an app dedicated to this Ron community, to the Ron Ninja community. So then that way, if you also want to continue to be a part of the conversation, the community, but you're not next to your computer, you can just get on your app and it's going to be the same experience. But let me know what you think. What did you think of the community? What did you think about what it had to offer? I actually think it's pretty darn cool. Like I said, I think it's really well done. Like, that takes a lot of work to go through and write down all of that information about Ron providers, to break everything down in section. Like, that's no small feat. And so I'm really excited about the potential that it has within the Ron community. And like I said, I plan to be on it and try it out and engage with you all. So hopefully I will see you on there soon. If you are looking to sign up, I put a link down in the description. And again, this isn't a paid sponsorship or anything like that. I just think it's cool, and I would love to talk to you more in a community like this. So hopefully I see you there.